Todd got fired.
I'm just so happy to be here on my first day of Premium. It's exciting.
Hello everyone and welcome to another Versus video. I'm Brad Nelson and today I'm joined by the Todd Bronduin?
It's Brian Anderson, actually.
Oh, it's Brian Anderson. I'm here with Brian Anderson. Actually, no, everyone, Todd is not fired. We just have a third person to do Versus videos with again. Mr. Brian Bronduin has made his way to Premium Versus videos. Everyone give him a round of applause.
Just a nice old golf clap.
That's exactly it. We will be actually just being a triangle of matchups for you guys here soon, and
some might call it a love triangle, actually.
I'm not going to call it that.
I will.
I'm actually just going to say we are professionals and we're just working together.
Professionals. Interesting.
But today we're going to be playing the decks that we both think are best in the format. I have to show BBD what's up since he's moving to Premium, and I got to show him how we do things here, where I just beat whoever I'm playing against mercilessly the entire time. Mercilessly? Why can't I say that word?
I don't know. It's being evicted from your memory.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, let's talk about the deck. I'm playing Brave Naya. I understand that this deck is almost becoming so gimmicky like Trading Post from a couple years ago because I just keep thinking it's good. But no one's really proven me wrong yet. I've just been crushing everything I've played with it. And I have been making some tweaks. So let's just go over the new cards in the deck. The mana base is the exact same as it's been for a couple weeks, and I've been happy with it. But I have put Giant Growth into the main deck. It was a card that I tried sideboard a couple weeks back, just so when I'm in green matchups I can get my soldiers through things. But then I wanted to get my soldier through everything. And I just started adding more Giant Growths to the deck, mostly because cards like Boros Charm and Brave the Elements are good, but not in multiples, because then you just get a lot of like damage, weak hands. So like, yes, you can get like 6 points of damage through very easily with a Boros Charm and a Brave the Elements, or maybe even 8 damage, but it's not a high like amount of damage, so I just need more pump spells. So that's why I went up to 10.
Yeah, I also like the fact that Giant Growth, like, one of the things about this deck is if your opponent knows exactly what's up, like if they know you have Gorklan and Boros Charm, they can play around like those exact cards. But once you have Giant Growth in the mix, it becomes like very difficult for them to play around everything. Now they have to like expect your guy to get pumped on defense too and other things.
Oh yeah, and that's just it. That's why I'm on 3 of all of these, mostly because I just want a wide variety of spells that our opponents are just going to have to play around. As well as the most beneficial thing about Giant Growth is when you get stuck on 3 mana, it's something that you can do alongside Brave the Elements that you get to cast. But most of the time, if you're stuck on 3, Brave is fine because you're not going to be interacting with your opponent that turn. But when you have to interact, it's really nice to be able to cast Giant Growth along with one of these spells to try to win the game. So other than that, the only change I've made is Brimaz. And the reason I'm playing Brimaz over Smiter is they're both very comparable in a lot of matchups. One of the biggest reasons that Smiter is better than Brimaz, in my opinion, is being able to jump over a Courser of Kruphix. But other than that, I love the ability that it can attack and block. It might not block the first turn just for the same reasons of like pump spells or Gorkon Rampagers, but once you get on top with it, you get to attack with it, protect it with one of your pump spells, and then when you're blocking, you can protect it with Selesnya Charm or Giant Growth, same with Brave the Elements and Boros Charm. So I'm a big fan of Brimaz just being able to do everything in the deck.
Yeah, I also like the fact that like you can, when you get a cat token out of it, you can also like go in on the cat token as well. So like if you attack with the Brimaz and they block it with like some huge creature, you can still pump the cat token to kill them.
Yeah, and the other thing that's great about Brimaz is when you attack with a Smiter, they're just like, take it. But when you attack with the Brimaz, they're like, that token looks really tasty. Yeah. Like, I really want to block that. Like, I don't want them to get a bunch of tokens on the board and have too many creatures. So people tend to block the tokens more for no real reason. Like, they're like, I'll rather take 4 than trade or try to eat that because you have a pump spell. But when that one token's there, they just kind of want to eat it. So I like that. Just then you get the option. If the token is bad, you just like, or if you want to save your pump spell, you just let the token die. But sometimes you can just eat a Courser Kruphix if that's like important to you.
Yeah, and it also like makes it hard for them to attack back. Like a lot of times, like decks are going to try to race you, but it's very hard to race a Brimaz.
Especially a deck with Mana Confluence it's nice to have some ability to play D.
Yeah,
and so that's why Brimaz is in the deck. But so that's the main deck. We'll talk about the sideboard real quick, and we'll go on to Brian Anderson's sideboard.
Yeah.
All right, so in the sideboard, I've been putting a lot of work into the deck, and I found that this is exactly what I want for this metagame. We'll start with against the control decks. We have the 4th Boros Charm when they have Supreme Verdicts, and if they're more based around green or black, we have Domri Raid. And Domri Raid and Banishing Light are just very good cards against like these black-green decks, along with even like black-white midrange. And against control decks that have their own Banishing Lights or Detention Spheres, we have Keening Apparitions to go along with the Domri Raids to just keep the Domri Raids in play. And it just feels so good. I've done it. I did it against Todd like last week, where I just like Domri Raid, ticked up, showed him a Keening Apparition. He's like, the only thing I had to do is Detention Sphere this, you know, like I have to do it. So I got to like Keening Apparition, get the Domri back, and like pick up another guy. Especially when blue-white is just forced to play 4 Zurus Charms, they're just going to pop it off really quickly. So you just have to play Domri Raid right now in an aggressive deck, I think. And then 1 Glare is probably the weakest card in my sideboard. I'm not going to lie, I think I put it in here assuming that, you know, this, yes, I understand if you assume you make an ass out of you and me. And I did, thinking that Brave Naya might be more of a thing, so you just want a card that's like good in the mirror match, but no one listens to me.
Yeah,
Ever.
I didn't see Brave Naya at all. I'm sorry,
No,
Brad.
it's okay. There was just none, was there?
Not that I saw, yeah.
I don't know why. But 3 Unflinching Courage are very good against like straight green-red monsters or other hyper-aggressive decks. And because we have Giant Growth and Brave the Elements, we just have a lot of ways to answer their removal spells for it. Or like if they wanted like deal with it in combat. But it's not a card that I'm going to want in this matchup. And then Mortars is just a very good card against other aggressive decks, and as well as like red-green monsters.
Yeah, like destroy target, Corsair Crucifix.
Yeah. Or, you know, like, I guess, like, the only creature that it doesn't kill in the matchup is Polakranos.
Yeah.
But, like, having an answer to Stormbreath Dragon, because my deck is kind of white.
Yeah, Stormbreath's a little good against a bunch of white creatures.
Yeah. But more about the matchup, what I'm going to be trying to lean on against BBD in this specific matchup is that I'm going to want to rely on the density of spells I have. Whereas I have 22 lands and a bunch of cards that are just good. Sure, some of them can be underpowered to, like, BBD's top end, but for the most part, my deck just has more power in you know 1, 2, and 3 drops, and many more spells than he has because of the cards like Elvish Mystic and Sylvan Caryatid. So
right.
like BBD can flood out in the late game, but we're just going to be both trying to fight for positioning in the mid game because my deck doesn't have a good late game and his deck does, even though he can flood out. So we just want to be able to like try to keep enough resources in the mid game to find a way to kill him, and just hope he floods out a bunch. That's.
I kind of hope I float out too.
Yeah,
It's just fun.
It's just fun to have a lot of lands.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I mean, you get to like kick all of your monsters so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actively wants to not draw well. I don't know. This is not Todd Anderson, is it? Anyway, guys, thanks for watching my deck tech. We'll look at BBD's Jund monsters that he ended up playing in Cincinnati.
Yes.
To a double-digit finish.
Yes, I was in the top 11 of the event.
Yes.
10th place.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks for watching.